All right, let's start looking at approximation. This says an approximation of a number is a second number that is close in value to the first number, but is not equal to the first number. So, for example, 99 is approximately 100. 99 is not 100. It is an approximation. It is a stated value that is close to the first value 99, but it's not equal to the first value 99. We said that 100 is an approximation. Now the most common means, so next let's look at rounding to 1, 2, or 3 decimal places. The most common means of arriving at an approximation is rounding. When rounding a number to the nth decimal place, we must consider the digit that is the nth plus 1 decimal place. Now, if the digit being considered is 5 or more, we're going to round up by adding 1 to the nth digit, or the digit that is in the nth decimal place, and drop all other digits. If the digit being considered is 4 or less, we're going to round down by dropping that digit and all other digits after it. All right, the best way to actually explain this is to show it to you in action. All right, example 14 says, round each of the following to the stated value. So for I, we're going to round these values correct to. All right, so we're going to round these values correct to first to 1, then 2, then 3 decimal places, and to the nearest whole number. All right, so for the first row, we're going to round each of these 3 numbers to 1 decimal place. Guys, if you're rounding a number to 1 decimal place, you must look at the digit that is the second decimal place. So here, the digit I'm looking at is 6. Now, if the digit you're considering or the digit you're looking at is 5 or more, you're going to add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, you must drop it and every digit after it. So because the digit I'm looking at is 6, I'm going to add 1 to the 3. And so my answer is going to be 0.4 to 1 decimal place. So if I round a number to 1 decimal place and I'm finished, I must have only 1 decimal place in my answer. Let's have a look at 1. We're going to round 0.428 to 1 decimal place. Now, whenever you write a number to 1 decimal place, you must look at the digit that is the second decimal place. That's the 2. Now, if the digit I'm looking at is 5 or more, I'll add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, I will drop it and every digit after it. Now, since the digit I'm looking at is 2, I'm going to drop it and every digit after it. So 0.428 to 1 decimal place is 0.4 to 1 dp. Next, we have 10.372 to 1 decimal place. Now, again, whenever we write a number to 1 decimal place, we must consider the digit that is the second decimal place. We're going to consider this digit. Now, if the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, I must drop it and every digit after it. Now, since the digit I'm looking at is 7, which is greater than 5, I'm going to add 1 to the digit before it, which is the 3. So I'm going to add 1 to the 3, making my answer 10.4 to 1 decimal place. So next, the second row, I'm going to round every number in the second row to 2 decimal places. Now, if I'm rounding a number to 2 decimal place, I must consider the digit that is the 3rd decimal place. Now, if the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, I must drop it and every digit after it. So the digit I'm looking at is 3, so I'm going to drop it and every digit after it. 3 is less than 5, so I'm going to drop that digit. So this becomes 125.17 to 2 decimal places. Note, if I want a number to 2 decimal places when I'm finished, there must be 2 decimal places in the answer. Next, 59.436 to 2 decimal places. Again, if I'm rounding a number to 2 decimal places, I must consider the digit that is the 3rd decimal place. Now, if the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. Now, since the digit here I'm considering is a 6, I'm going to add 1 to the digit before it, which is a 3, making my answer 59.44 to 2 dp, 2 decimal places. Now 6.487 to 2 decimal places. Again, I must consider the digit, which is the 3rd decimal place. Now, if that digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I'm going to add 1 to the digit before it. Now, since the digit I'm considering is a 7, I'm going to add 1 to the digit before it, making my answer 6.49 to 2 decimal places. For the next row, I'm going to round the 3 digits, the 3 numbers in that row to 3 decimal places. Now, if I'm rounding a number to 3 decimal places, I must consider the digit that is the 4th decimal place. So the 4th decimal place is that digit, the one I just underlined. Now, if the digit, so I'm considering that digit. Now, if the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. So the digit I'm considering is an 8th. So I'm going to add 1 to the 9. When you add 1 to 9, you get 10. 10 is 2 digits, so you can't put down a 10, you just put down a 0. And then add 1 to the 4, making my answer 2.550 to 3 decimal places. So remember, I would add 1 because the digit I'm looking at is an 8. I'm going to add 1 to the 9, making it 10. 10 has 2 digits. I can't put down 10, so I put down 0. And then add 1 to the 4, making it 5. And so my final answer is 2.550 to 3 decimal places. Now 7.6984 to 3 decimal places. I must consider the digit that is the 4th decimal place. So if I want my answer to 3 decimal places, I must consider the digit that is the 4th decimal place. If the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, I must drop it and every digit after it. So my answer is now 7 point. I'm going to drop the 4 because it's less than 5. So it's 7.698, and this is to 3 decimal places. Now 0.0568 to 3 decimal places. I must look at the 4th decimal place. The digit that is the 4th decimal place is an 8. Now, since the digit, which is the 4th decimal place, is greater than 5, I'm going to add 1 to the third decimal place, making my answer 0.057 to 3 decimal places. Now, finally, let's round some decimal numbers to the nearest whole number. First, now whenever you write a number to the nearest whole number, that number must not have any decimals in it. So if I'm going to write a number to the nearest whole number, I must consider the digit that is the first decimal place. Now, if the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I'd add 1 to the whole number. If it is 4 or less, I would drop it and every digit after it. In the number 9.49, the digit that is the first decimal place is the 4. So to the nearest whole number, I would drop that digit and every digit after it. The answer is 9 to the nearest whole number. Now, 8.94 to the nearest whole number. I must look at the digit that is the first decimal place. That digit is the 9. Because it's more than 5, I'm going to add 1 to the whole number, which is the 8, making my answer 9 to nearest whole number. Lastly, 2.419 to the nearest whole number. I must consider the digit that is the first decimal place. If the digit I'm considering is 5 or more, I must add 1 to the digit before it. If it is 4 or less, I must drop it and every digit after it. Now, seeing that the digit I'm considering is a 4, I'm going to drop the 4 and every digit after it. So my answer is 2 to the nearest whole number. So 2.419 to the nearest whole number is 2.